It is currently 50 minutes till a new year, and as I feel every year, a new year, old dreadful memories coming back to haunt me. This time, it is the initial memories of playing Halo Reach. What a depressing game. You're sent onto a planet, you're tutored up to be a hero. Turns out you're not actually a hero. Turns out everybody's dying.
Don't deny me this.
Holy
Tell her
shit,
to
you just
make
picked
it
me up with
count.
one arm. How do you wait, what do you mean make it count? Wait! Oh my god, that's what he meant! Turns out they shot down the civilian ships. Oh dear god, one of my teammates just got shot in the head.
Does he get off calling a demolition a priority one?
And suddenly I'm stuck alone with a psychopathic guy that keeps sharpening his knife every hour. And I have this weird blue tube on my back. Halo Reach. Oh hey, look, that's a shiny blue sword. I could sit here and talk about like every individual depressing mission. It starts around mission 6, Long Night of Solace, where George decides the only way to take down this ship is blowing myself up with it instead of just jumping off the ship with me. I'm not sure. Then you have a Zodius. You know, you're battling through the city. You're starting to see citizens. You're trying to save these citizens. Your friend just died, and you are doing everything you can to make sure more people don't die. Too fucking bad people die anyways. Yeah, you know, it's cool to try to be the hero, but you know, Reach has a way of embedding in your head that no matter what you do, it doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, what you do does matter, even if the overall circumstance it doesn't feel like it does. But honestly, if Noble Six didn't get the package in the end of the day, Chief probably would have died on the ring if he ever even made it there. Maybe he died on Reach. So yeah, there's a point, but still, it's just it's setback after setback after setback, and it's just it builds onto the despair that you feel throughout this game. And finally, you come to the Pillar of Autumn, and it starts off with you can see the commander's bleeding. His helmet's going crazy. I guess that's maybe his AI. I'm not sure. Suddenly, he's telling you to jump out. You fall on the ground. You look up into the sky, and you see him slowly getting shot down as he goes down into the mountains. And the first time I played, I just assumed Carter was dead. I mean, let's be honest. You know, you're dipshit 11-year-old playing through the game. You're not really paying attention to what the dialogue's going on. So, you know, you're just shooting through the game. But you know what's so special about Reach? You don't have to pay attention to dialogue to be sad. It makes you sad regardless. You can look out at the field, the graveyard of UNSC ships, and you can see this massive, powerful fleet tooted up all game. Dead. Didn't matter how much firepower humanity had. The Covenant were always technologically beyond them because they were a bunch of fucking upstart little greedy goblins that got placed on a planet with really high-end technology apparently. So, you know, they just get to be the winners because they had a better start. As you go through the Pillar of Autumn mission, you start seeing these soldiers on the ground. The first soldier I noticed was this soldier with like a red cross on its head. You know, the medical soldiers, you know, the people you're not supposed to shoot. Don't ask why war has rules. I don't know, because humans are weird. But the aliens, they're not bound to such rules. They'll shoot your medic, gun or not. Doesn't really matter. It's not human to them. That guy's entire job was to just make sure people didn't die. That is all that man did. He just wanted people to live. And, you know, he was gunned down. But, you know, moving on. We'll get revenge for this guy. After this brief massacre, you get to go up a hill and, you know, you got some jackals and grunts blocking your way, but you just slaughtered an entire army of those guys, so what does it really matter? Walking up forward past them, though, you get an entire view, and just a closer view of the graveyard of UNSC ships again. Peak of humanity laying there in ruins on the ground, soon to be glassed. And as you turn to the right, you see these weird green lights on the ground, and you don't maybe you don't notice the soldiers right away because you know there's a bright light in front of you, or maybe you do notice them right away. Either way, your mind starts racing. You start thinking, well, there's med kits on the ground, and there's these green lights. Were they waiting for a retreat? Were they injured? Was something happening that made them have to pull back? You won't know. They're dead. They died trying to defend a planet that's not gonna make it. And that's just the shittier feeling there, is that these people died and you're left wondering, did it really matter? It's really sad. You know, being a Spartan, you can take as many shots as you need to get the mission done. These people, they only get a bullet, maybe two. And it's not even a bullet. It's like getting a miniature fucking sun shoved into your esophagus. Like, it's just, it's not a fun way to die either. I failed to mention this earlier, but actually, Carter does come back. Noble team leader returns. Woohoo, yeah! Power Rangers unite! Let's save the day. Oh god, he just rammed into a vehicle and died. Carter out, though, eh? Damn. It's a badass way to go, but is it sad? Yeah, I mean, it's actually really depressing. It builds onto these layers of despair this game gives you. Finally, you come across a field full of Covenant. Of course, you got a Spartan laser and a sniper lined up right next to you, so, you know, it's pretty easy to take care of these Covenant. But as you're looking, you realize my location's behind them, and they're this fortified in front of me? How's this ship even in one piece still? Like, they got turrets. They got fucking Ghost on the ground. Not to mention, it takes 1,000,001 bullets just to put down a damn elite. Moving through what seems to be warehouses, you know, you start seeing more soldiers, corpses on the ground. Very unceremoniously. After getting rid of those hunters, the soldiers inside are more than happy to let me in. Walking through this warehouse, though, not only do you get to see more soldier corpses, really starting to bug me at this point how many corpses there are on the ground. I don't know why, but even in a video game, I've never really taken death very well, I guess. It just feels not like disturbing, but nasty. Like, it's just gross, like a waste. Why would you do that to people? They could make like electric vehicles, you don't know. Maybe one of them makes a new battery. I don't fucking know. Fusion batteries. Woohoo! I'm just saying, you know, it's a waste to kill people. It's too much potential. And they're corpse on the ground now, so guess it doesn't matter. Not like the Covenant gave a shit anyways. Finally, we make it out to the landing dock. We're being attacked by a shit ton of brutes. I don't know why the brutes suddenly decided to come out now. But hey, here they are. The majority of them, at least. There was a lot in Zodius, I suppose. But for the most part, this is basically all the brutes in the game all at once. You hear Emile yelling at you, "Don't worry, I'll get the gun. I'll shoot all the big guys coming down to shoot you from the ships." You're like, "Hell yeah, Emile. There's only 2 of us left, but we can fucking do this. We'll fucking do this." And then, you know, you kill the brutes. Keys comes down, grabs the package. We're triumphant. We survived. We survived. You know, you're talking to Keys. You're giving him the package. You're about to hop on. Emile's telling you to go. "I got this. I'll cover you guys." And then, you know, you're starting to walk with the ship, and then the ship gets disrupted, and they have to move to not get hit by something. And then, as you're about to jump on the ship, you hear this weird grunting in your radio comms in your helmet. And you look over to Emile, and you notice 3 elites have dropped on to Emile. And he takes down the first one like a goddamn badass. This man is a savage. He takes down, and then he gets stabbed through the gut. But no, that's not it. He takes that goddamn knife he's been sharpening for 12 goddamn missions and jabs it right in that elite's throat. But it wasn't. He's dead.
I have the gun.
And someone needs to get on that gun to let Keys escape. Sorry, 6, but as you know, the mission comes first. Shortly after, you succeed in keeping Keys and the Pillar of Autumn safe. You take down a Corvette. Keys makes it out to a Halo ring. You know, you got the cutscene from Halo 1 playing. And then it fades out, and then it plays Ghosts in Glass, and Noble 6 is standing there, alone, looking out at a field. Planet's dusty and bright red, almost like volcanic ash is throughout the air. Planet itself is dying, and you can feel it, you can see it. And you look out, and the horizon's just filled with endless elites coming after you. I mean, you can kill as many as you want. It doesn't matter. Eventually your helmet will crack, eventually it will fall off, and eventually you'll see that sword go right through your goddamn gut again. Now, I know this seems random, but I want to take a step back and explain some personal history with the Halo franchise and why I think this really led me to see Halo as like one of the most depressing games I'd ever played. Halo Reach is about trying your hardest to save something you care about and not being able to achieve just that. What you love burns in front of your eyes. Yeah, I know it's a bit dramatic, but think about how these Spartans feel. They were kidnapped at fucking like 12 to 14 and then raised on this damn planet. So, I mean, you know. In my head, at least my little 11-year-old head, I saw a human stand up for what they believed in, their entire planet, their pride, and potentially their legacy. I didn't realize there was really much other than Reach. I thought it was Reach and Earth, and I watched Reach burn to the ground, and I watched the hero that was supposed to save it also burn to the ground. Being younger, you always see heroes, win, save the day. And in Reach, they decide, nah, your hero's not going to save the day. Actually, she's going to die like everyone else. Yeah, he got the AI to the Pillar of Autumn, to Keys, to Master Chief. And yeah, that did help. That actually might have just saved all of humanity. But they say it at the end. And I think this really rubs it in. It's a shame that you came so close to seeing the entire war through. And you died just before it could end. Like, it's really just... The game's a tragedy. And having to tussle with that in my 11-year-old mind, I didn't understand. I couldn't compute that, I lost, even though I won. But this was my view on the Halo universe for the longest time. Not really knowing what Halo 1, 2, or 3 was about, barely even knowing they existed, I thought this was a game where you have a super soldier, you go in, fight aliens, save your planet, but the planet wasn't saved. With no other context, I thought humans were just donezo. Out of the Halo universe, just done. That made me really sad. I was like, wow, we're gonna die if there's ever an alien invasion. I think deep down it was really scary as a young kid to see a superhuman macho man get taken down with relative ease, honestly. I mean, yeah, he was like hyper lethal, but what is hyper lethal to billions, trillions? I mean, think of Warhammer 40k. It doesn't really matter how strong the guy they fight is. They just throw so many fucking bodies at it that it just eventually becomes overwhelming. It's not quite the same situation because in the Halo universe, you're horribly out-teched. Like, it's not even fair. It's a shocker humans survived as long as they did. But I think as a child, watching a Spartan die was honestly horrifying. All in all, I think Halo Reach was a very impactful game. And I think I just want to leave it off with its final message. Even though your armor and body were turned to glass and ash, your courage, which you gave, is what allowed them to go on to rebuild, win the war. And, it shows that even if all odds are against you and it seems hopeless, just having enough courage to go through might actually be what you need to make a difference. It doesn't seem to make a big deal in the moment, but maybe 5 years down the line, you might save humanity. Who knows? Or everybody dies. I mean, it is what it is. Anyways, I think that's going to be wrapping this up for today. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Yeah, that was a lot of rambling, wasn't it? I didn't really go into this with the script. And I don't really like scripts. I think they're kind of boring and to make and to read. So I didn't, there might be a lot of or ramblings. I hope to get rid of that in the future. Maybe there's a few other games I'd like to talk about too. But I've had this Halo idea in my head for a better part of a year now. So it was really nice to be able to get it out. And honestly, I think I'm really happy with how it's come out. Yeah, if you watch the entire video, I mean, make sure to honestly, I don't even think subscriptions really matter. But yeah, drop a comment. I mean, I said bad words, so YouTube's gonna send me to YouTube hell. They're gonna break down my door and probably take my family, with these new policies. I'm just not ready for them. Anyways, yeah, so I'll catch you guys next week if I have something. If not, bye.